Hi everyone, welcome back to Up to Hue. Today we will be discussing how you can easily set up your own smart home and what the basics are. If you haven't already, please subscribe for us to show you more of the newest and coolest technological gadgets on the regular. Now, to get straight into the video. Is try to keep it easy when it comes to automation. Some, maybe most, think that starting a smart home means having to break apart your home and rewire your sockets and also having skills to know how to. While there are a lot of advanced videos on the internet, you don't have to do this. And with more and more devices coming out all the time, it makes your life so much easier to find products where you don't have to think about much, if any, installation. If you're not a tech wizard and just looking for a simple fix to life's boring, time-consuming tasks, then that's what we're here to show you and help you figure out. Now comes the job of finding which platform you would like to choose. There are numerous systems out there, and some are more advanced than others. Two that are the most straightforward and easy to use interfaces are like the Apple HomeKit, or there's the Google Home. These two are quite flexible, varying with a lot of devices that you can purchase to use these hubs with. Maybe you plan on making a lot more upgrades to your home system. Maybe you're ready to take things a step further and change those sockets, or even install some challenging hardware in the future. Those hubs would definitely be a good place to start. You can also have a look at a few others like the Samsung SmartThings, AOTech Smart Home Hub, which works well with Zigbee products, we'll touch on that later, or the IKEA Dirigera. Bear in mind that some work with others and some don't, and that they all individually have their own perks and quirks, so trying to find the best one for your home is very important. When looking into smart homes, it can be easy to get lost into a hole of technological advancements. To the point when you do this, you may take on these DIYs that are simply too large or you don't quite understand. It turns into a project that doesn't get finished because you simply don't know where to go from there. In other words, pick your battles carefully. Don't go rushing into this head first. There are a lot of complicated codings and devices to install that could be too much for when you're starting out. It's easier said than done to want your home to be perfect on the first try, but a lot of the time, it never goes that way. So the advice from here would be to go slow and start with small projects you know you'll be able to complete. When purchasing products, try to read a bit about them, making sure they are compatible with yours rather than getting another hub just to use it. That's when things will get messy, and you have 10 apps on your phone for different hubs you have settings to. After picking a smart home, now you can buy devices. Buying lights to start with may be the easiest and most noticeable difference to begin with when buying devices. This is because lighting can change the atmosphere in a room straight away. The best recommended light bulbs to use, that may be on the pricey end, are Philips Hue bulbs. We only recommend these as the best because of the range of options and colors you can get with them. The way you have the lighting is endless. The way you set up your smart hub settings for lights can be any way you like. For example, in the morning the lights come on at a specific time. Midday, all lighting is bright colored and full brightness. In the evening, they dim and change into a warmer, cozier color, ranging from white, warm white, and cool white. The colors are endless, along with the dimming and changing of the brightness. So you have your hub, you've changed your light bulbs, or added accent lighting in the majority of your rooms. So, what would be next? Smart speakers are fantastic devices that allow you to have voice command speaking with a virtual assistant to help you get things done. They are great for security. If someone is at your front door and you are in the kitchen, it alerts you someone is present. If you are in the bathroom, you can buy a waterproof one, and you can make commands from within the shower. It's a pretty fantastic tool that basically is its own hub. Although it's not, its benefits are in some ways greater. So now we need to have a look into a smart speaker. So why buy a smart speaker when you have a hub? Well, although again it's not a hub, If you have the HomeKit, for example, the HomePod and HomePod Mini are accessories to the HomeKit, and you can use this to change settings and ask it to turn on and off lights and change any other devices in your home. Now you have the basics set up. You can explore all the different devices you get. When picking out the devices, think if you really want them and if you will really use them. This is important because there are devices that may rarely get used and take up space on your interfaces when going through your settings. Plus, they aren't exactly cheap. Here are some devices you may want to think about carefully when getting them. Small utensils, if you have smart utensils like the meter, which is a device you use when cooking. If you aren't much of a cook, or you rarely are cooking for long periods of time, or maybe used only once or twice within a few weeks, then it would probably just sit in your cupboard collecting dust. Smart speakers, although I said this is really handy, if you don't listen to music that much, or maybe it's more of a hassle going about the house speaking to objects, then maybe voice control electronics just aren't for you. There are plenty of interfaces you can buy, including using iPads and tablets on a stand. These are just a few things that need consideration when bringing these devices home with you. Taking things up a notch, let's discuss sensors. Sensors can be used on your doors and door frames most of the time to detect someone entering a room, and in turn, turning on lights and other devices when you enter or exit. They can also be used for security, like around your home if you need them for the back door or garden gate to know when someone is entering. You can get thermometer sensors, changing the temperature of your home remotely and anywhere if you're using your smartphone. Along with humidity detectors, there are water leak detectors. They simply go behind your boiler or your radiators and see if there's any water there. There are so many different sensors, including ones for your windows for security. The list really does go on. Again, make sure it fits with your smart hub, and you've checked it's fairly easy to install. You really can get very creative with this, with the amount of possibilities. Next up are Switchbots. Switchbot itself is a company that you can buy hubs, thermometers, and other little handy devices from. But their main device, the reason for purchasing devices from them, is for the Switchbot switch pusher itself. Relatively cheap, being 30-odd pounds, even less in some places. This nifty little device turns the lights on and off for you, meaning you don't have to stand up or lift a finger, well, except for pressing a button on your interface. Or if you already have a timer for when you want them on, then no need to do anything. Just simply set it in your smart home. Excellent for a baby's bedtime in the nursery. So the next device we are going to talk about is smart plugs. These simply are plugs you put in your outlet, turn them on, and they can be connected through your hub so that you can control the light and options for them through an interface or voice control, even though they may not be a smart device. They work just as well as one. Some also have energy analytics, so you can check how much energy usage you're using to work on saving some money regularly. They give so much freedom to what you want to make smart, but don't have a ton of money to make every ordinary device or light bulb smart. Security. Now, this is a must in general when it comes to keeping your home secure, but one we haven't talked about much really is smart locks. You can now get biometric locks that read your thumbprint, only allowing home members access. It's not exactly renter-friendly, but if you have a house, it's great for putting on your front and back door, and even securing your windows. If you have a Ring doorbell or something similar, but you're thinking about covering your house with more security cameras, there are now smart cameras that you can access all in one place through your interface. There are plenty to choose from, and there are actually some wireless ones perfect for rentals. More onto the bigger, actual smart devices for when you've got a bit of money to play about with. Smart TVs, for example. Apple TV. An Apple TV you can use to control things in your house, like the app on your iOS or the HomePod. Now, this is just an example. There are a ton more different smart television devices, but just wanted to touch on that one. Another favorite for low installation technique are the curtain openers. They just look very technical for just hooking something on when you barely did anything. They fit on the majority of curtain rods except for swish curtain track and rod pockets. Kitchen appliances. Thinking that we should touch on this one because the amount of kitchen appliances that are smart nowadays is actually quite scarily amazing. You can get smart ovens, smart dishwashers, smart slow cookers, smart coffee makers, smart kettles, and Meter, the cooking utensil. The variety of this is expansive. If you're now wondering what is the Meter cooking utensil, it's a thermometer that you put in your meat to go into the oven. It tracks how cooked it is and even sends you a notification when it's ready to take out. Not only is it amazing, you can tell your coffee machine to turn on in the morning ready for you to use. It can also be incredibly energy saving. These, of course, are going to be more pricey, but if you build it up over time, you'll have your smart machines at your service. Let us know if any of this was helpful and what device you thought was your favorite. Please remember to hit the notification bell for us to let you know when we post another video. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe for more.